morning, everybody. This is Lila in Hawaii. I'm going to give you a look at a book I've just finished, and it's called The Secret Garden. And so I'll show you the cover first. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to show you the pictures because it's quite filled, as you can see, with everything. So I'll start on the cover because this was kind of nice. It was a postcard from our local art museum, and I just adhered it to a hard-covered book, put a label on here, and the word "The Key of the Garden," and there's a little rusted key right there. And the back is some chintz material, and then the back of the book is the original book, and I did like that cover. So I'll show you the pages. It is finished, and it'll be for sale in my shop. So this is the front page, and I'm sure you know the story, The Secret Garden. It's really quite a lovely little story. This one has illustrations by Tasha Tudor. So this is the key to the garden door. This is the doorway to the secret garden. So this was actually partly done in a class that I teach. So this was one of the classes. So we used foliage, we painted the door on cardstock, and I added a keyhole and some hinges here, and then some greenery around there. So that's the entrance to the secret garden. So the next page is one of the rabbits that was in the garden, and it actually is a pocket. So what I did was I drew the rabbit, and you know I always like to incorporate some of my artwork, paintings and embroidery and that kind of thing. So this is a little painting of a bunny that I did, and then I did a little bit of simple embroidery around it. And it is a pocket, so I ruffled up some paper, and there's a squirrel from an old napkin. There it is there. The next page is the little girl, Mary, and she's holding her jump rope there. And this was done with various techniques. It was applique. First of all I drew her, then I painted it, and then I appliqued. This is some fabric applique. I did some stitchery around it and some running stitch to finish the whole thing off. And this is the old-fashioned Victorian. It was kind of like a wheelchair, so I made a drawing of that. This was featured in the book, and it's a pocket also. So there's an image there from the book. So this is surrounded by a squirrel, some more leaves, and some sort of a label, tear-out label. It's not the best rendition of that, but anyway, that's what that is. And here's the little boy, and I did the same sort of thing on this. I drew him, then I painted him, then I added fabrics and applied him to a background of one of my painted houses there, and a collage of fabrics and some old textile right there. Here's a poem, and it actually is not a poem from the book, but it's one that went with the theme. So I printed that onto some cardstock, and these are shrinky dinks that I made with the little animals that were in the garden. This was the little bird, and this is the little bunny. It's cute, and added some old lace to that. On this side, this is actually a page from one of the old books. I bought an old book. In fact, I have two of them, but I bought an old book that I could tear up the pages. Got it, I think, at the thrift store, Goodwill or somewhere. It's a while back since I got it. And then I just made a decorative piece on the bottom. and a tag that flips out there, so that on the other side you'll see there's a collage, a layered collage. This is an image from the book, and when you lift that up, there's a drawing of the snowdrops that grew in the garden. It's one of my paintings, and I embroidered on the cardstock, which wasn't easy, but I did it anyway. And then under that there's another page with text, and a page from the book, or 2 pages from the book. So I won't take the clip off that. On this side there's just some images from the book, just a collection of little odds and ends that I thought might be found in the garden. And it's really just a collage. And this is from an old vintage hat decoration, so it's a velvet I don't know what it is, some sort of a blossom, but it seemed to go with the theme. Now this is the center spread, and we did do this in the class I taught, so everyone came up with their own idea, but the main idea was to have the bricks for the wall of the garden. So I happened to have a stencil with that kind of a brick pattern, so stenciled on paper the background in grey bricks. So that started the whole thing. This goes in the center, so it was a double spread, and then it's surrounded by all of the different items that you might find in the garden. This is the door to the garden, and that opens like that, and there's some of the bees and flowers you might find in the garden. A squirrel over here, and here's Mary, and it says let's go exploring, and I added a collage of embroidered pieces there. This is one of my own embroideries, and a little bird made of Fimo. So that's the center spread. The next is this one, and this one is called Behind the Ivy, and this was actually one page, a collage that was added later. So it has a picture from one of the books, Secret Garden books that I have, and then it had a collage of fabric leaves, a flower, butterfly, that was a stamp, and then the word here, Behind the Ivy, which is taken from the book, and then some more cutouts here. On this side, there are the 2 friends, and I just appliqued them to some lovely papers that I felt went with it, and at the top there's that's part of some scrap fabric that I had, and lace at the top, and that clips on, and underneath there you can see a page from the book. On this side is basically the whole page is a painting I did. So there's a pocket here, and it said the robin who showed me the way, that showed the way into the garden. And here I've added some of my own painted birds and tags. This one's on music, and behind that there's that one. It's a little glitter on them, and behind that is one of my paintings of the robin and the robin's nest. It's cute. On this side there's a collage of different items. This basket I did embroider. I used to have an embroidery machine, don't have it anymore, but that's where I did that. And this is just some embroidery cut from an old cloth, and a collage of images that I felt went together. This page has a pocket here, and that's one of my paintings of 2 little owls. Don't look too much like owls, but that's what they're supposed to be. And the fox. These are all my paintings, and I think there are more throughout. This is a painting of mine right at the back here. And on this side, getting towards the end, this side it's a nice colour. This is one of my favourite pages. I like the colours. So here's the owl, and here's a quote on a card that flips up. And this is a motive from something that I had. I don't remember quite where it came from, but anyway, it's a motif of birds, and I applied it to a bird sticker, and a piece of branch and leaf from our garden, the owl, and this is a little flip out here, and this is also from the book. And this is a painting I did of Colin with one of the little lambs that featured in the book, and I just drew the lamb and put it on a little tag like that. And there's Colin, and I just mounted him onto some of the brickwork that I painted and some text. He's very joyous. And this page is just a gathering of all sorts of pretty things that you'd find in a garden. There's a painting here with some fabric ruffled on top. I think I've got I've got all kinds of tags in there. I don't think I'll take them all out, but there are about 6 tags in the top there in that pocket, and then layers of different, really pictures of flowers mostly. And the last page is a photo, not a photo, a drawing I did of Mary. Here she is holding her jump rope again, and she's holding some flowers. And it was a watercolor painting I did that did start to bleed a little bit. The watercolor started to bleed a little bit, but I didn't mind that. I sort of made it look like part of the whole image, and then I splattered it, as I like to do in a lot of my paintings. I love splatter. So I splattered it with some black, and I surrounded it with some fabric to frame it. She's wearing a hat with a cute little flower in the hat. And the last page is a pocket that's on an angle like that, and inside the pocket has some tags, and they're actually, that's one of my paintings. It's one of my paintings, but there are more tags that are going in there, or paintings that I haven't put in there yet. And here's the bird in the nest again, and that's the book. And the size of the book is 5 by 7, and as I say, I'll be putting it for sale in my shop if you're interested. There is really a lot of work in it, and it's nice and chunky, which I like that. And I also like the idea that you can stand it up. I don't know whether I can show that or not. You can stand it up and look at the different pages like that, like that. And I love that idea. So you can put on your desk or somewhere like that, a shelf. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. This is Lila in Hawaii. Goodbye.